Now we got the Hells Angels.
Drake knows what it means, and he knew exactly what he was doing, and he knows what he's signaling to.
And Joe, let's talk about what it means. You talk to Hells Angels, like, okay, hey, we're just a motorcycle club, we're just a bunch of biking enthusiasts. Actually, Joe, we all know, come on, this is organized crime, this is about drug trafficking, this is about incredibly nefarious activities. Talk to any police officer about what the Hells Angels really are. So what is Drake saying by wearing a t-shirt that is, displaying the colors and the logo of an organized crime outfit?
I think what he's trying to say is that he's looking for street cred himself, and he's doing it through the Hells Angels. The Hells Angels aren't known for diversity, and you know what I mean? So yes. I don't understand it. I guess he can't wear he tends to lean towards the Bloods. He wears red most of the time.
Okay.
Even at a Blue Jays game, you'll see that he'll have something red.
I'm just, how does he have this many associations? Like, that don't raise a conflict? What? It's just like, I thought if you in one, I thought you can only be in one. I didn't know you can dibble and dabble. Shit. It's the money? I thought you can only be associated with one. But shit, seemed like he's shit.
He'll wear the one that they wear on Canada Day. So, and he's been called out before for flashing gang signs, which he says there weren't. This is the thing with this guy and this kind of thing, is that every time it's hard to say, well, that's what this is, or that's what, because they say, no, you're wrong. It's actually not that. And so, but he knew what he was doing. He was wearing this Hells Angels thing. I think he was looking for street cred. Hells Angels aren't at fault for it. I don't know how they really feel about this guy doing it, but I don't think they're involved with him. I don't think he's a member. I think he just wants to look like he's a tough guy.
Joe, I think you're really onto something profound here. I mean, when you look at Drake, I mentioned in the intro.
Very interesting. I don't think he's a member. He just want to look like a tough guy. And this ain't me talking. This is Toronto reported. This is Larry Bird's cousin. This is Larry Bird cousin. All right. This is people in Toronto that's saying this. Larry Bird cousin. All right. Listen to Larry Bird cousin.
I don't think they're involved with him. I don't think he's a member. I think he just wants to look like he's a tough guy.
Joe, I think you're really onto something profound here. I mean, when you look at Drake, I mentioned in the intro, this is the fellow from the mean streets of Forest Hill. Now, for those not familiar with Toronto, Forest Hill is probably one of the very best neighborhoods in all of Toronto.
That's where he grew up.
Yeah, it's the absolute opposite of straight out of Compton. And I think for street cred, I think because of the rap hip hop culture, it's important that you have this really badass persona, that you're a gangsta. That's what really counts. Gangsta.
That's bad when you got two white boys that can see through you. That's crazy. You got two white older men. They know, they like, Drake, man, you ain't this. You got two white men on here calling Drake out. Basically saying everything that everybody else been saying. That's insane when you got these two. You got Larry Bird and Donald Trump cousins. You got Donald Trump cousin, you got Larry Bird cousin over here saying, Drake, you ain't that. Stop it, Drake. Trying to be gangsta. That's
what that's what really counts. I don't get it myself, but
his lyrics reflect that. I mean, and rap, I guess goes with it. That's art. We're not into censorship around here, and so it is what it is. This is one of these things where you've got a guy who wants so badly to be part of that scene.
Yeah.
And how he does it is, and there's a lot of things to like about Drake. I mean, his career success is there. He's from here. I think a lot of us are enjoying how successful he is, and he's taking some of the local people with him. But the problem is they're on bail for violent crimes, taking them to Europe, and I think that's the part that really bothers me. And for me, David, it's the whole thing that goes back to around 3 years ago when Ariella Navarro Fenoy was shot down at the CNE at the music nightclub.
Right.
And it happened in front of Drake, the original shooting. Yeah. And he never did talk to the police. And
he went AWOL on that issue.
He did. And he was there and his guys were there. And we don't know who killed the other guy, Duval Hibbert, and the shot that was either aimed at him or somebody else that was fleeing that went down the street and hit Ariella. Yeah. That was one of Drake's fans. If you're not going to go and talk to the police and help them for one of your fans, then I've lost a lot of respect for you.
That's an excerpt from my
Wow. That's crazy. I didn't know about that. So you got even white people calling you out. So once again, now I already played the audio, the video where he said, he really don't feel accepted as a black man. He doesn't get that type of support as a black man. Well, Drake, I'm here to tell you, if you want us to identify you as, black man of the year, this ain't the move, my friend. This ain't the move right here. You might lose a couple of points with some of your blackest friends, as you said. Let's go to this. I think you might lose some points with you when you said, some of my blackest friends.
So what albums are classic? And I associate my, sometimes I do feel like if, sometimes I don't feel celebrated when I know maybe somebody else would be celebrated for those accomplishments. I don't feel like people say when Drake is the artist of the decade, I don't think anybody says, wow, a black artist is the artist of the decade. I don't think anybody.
Well, I don't think you're going to get that anytime soon. Knowing what we seen recently, sir. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna get that Black Man of the Year award. Knowing that what you got going over here. When you over here liking posts of alleged Hell Angel member punching a black man, and there's questions about that group. Some people say they racist, some people say they not, some people say they KKK. I don't know. But I hear a lot of stuff rolling around the streets. So you liking posts of a questionable, maybe racist, maybe I don't know. That's not going to help you win Black Man of the Year award. Yeah, that's not going to help you, Drake. So if you're trying to get Black Man of the Year award, I think you lost that by this.
Jeffrey Williams Jr. was arrested Monday on.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get the Black Man of the Decade award anytime soon because of this.
56-count racketeering indictment.
That indictment alleges his YSL record label is a criminal street gang that has committed murder, assault, and threats of violence.
And it started as early as the late 1960s, when the Rolling Stones partnered with the Hells Angels for security. Since then, the worlds of music and biker clubs have crossed paths more times than you might think. And today, we want to explore the story of a Canadian rapper who has repeatedly dropped hints suggesting an affiliation with the Hells Angels.
He tends to lean towards the Bloods. He wears red most of the time.
Okay.
Even at a Blue Jays game, you'll see that he'll have something red, or he'll wear the one that they wear on Canada Day.
While these hints went largely unnoticed for years, recent events have brought them into the spotlight, prompting closer scrutiny.
And you know me.
With the ongoing longtime beef between Drake and Kendrick Lamar, more revelations have come to light, suggesting that the Canadian rapper is probably in bed with the Hells Angels. It all started in 2018 when Drake released a song he titled God's Plan. He used the number 81 in a verse in the song.
Well, I played this one already. Let me play a different one. Let's play this one.
Rapper Drake on Instagram with an 81 supporter hoodie on. We get into it on this episode of Demons Row TV.
Now, this guy, I don't know too much about him. I just did just Googles on it, but he seems to be pretty knowledgeable about bikers and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Just a quick little, just to see who
First
he is.
and foremost,
you know what I'm saying? He seems to be heavily involved in the biker community. That pretty much all he talks about. So it seems like he might know a thing or two about, the whole Hells Angels thing. And he's going to talk about the association of Drake and this Hell Angels, right? I don't know nothing about them. So I'm here for educational purpose, all right? So salute to this young man right here. If y'all want to check him out, he got over 665K. So, he's pretty in depth, and it seems, this is his niche, right? So I'm sure if I want to listen to anybody, it might want to be him, about, Drake's maybe affiliation with the Hells Angels, right? So let's see what he got to say.
Rapper Drake on Instagram with an 81 supporter hoodie on. We get into it on this episode of Demons Row TV.
I'm gonna kill you, motherfucker!
We became aware of this incident last week when Drake, also known by his real name Aubrey Graham, was seen out at a social event with a number of other individuals. He was wearing a Support Hells Angels t-shirt, and that was sent to us as the provincial gang unit here in British Columbia. Many of us here saw that and expressed some concerns, and you know, individuals like that, they have millions of people who follow them. They have substantial influence, whether it's on social media or the various platforms they have. We like to think that people can be better than that. And so, you know, people like him have influence on young people's decisions. And part of the role that we have here in British Columbia is to prevent and educate people from getting into gang activity. And we all know that the Hells Angels are a worldwide criminal organization. Many of them are behind things like murders and significant drug trafficking. And it was just today in Alberta where it was announced that Hells Angels and their supporters were arrested and charged with multiple drug trafficking offenses. So this is something that's in the news every day. And it's a bit disheartening to see an individual who has been dubbed by many as an ambassador of Canada, certainly the city of Toronto and the Toronto Raptors, wearing a t-shirt that supports a criminal organization.